Stand by for Strat-O-Matic baseball. Greetings, everybody. It's Jeffrey Guterman, and it's time for Strat-O-Matic 1969 baseball, presented to you by the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. I'm Jeffrey Guterman. Glad to be here with SBN to bring you all the action. We have a new date, and this is the first game of July 28, 1969. First of a four-game series between the San Francisco Giants and the Chicago Cubs. Pitching for the Giants will be Juan Marichal, and for the Cubs, Bill Hands, two top-notch right-handers, aces of their teams. Let's look at our starting lineups. For the Giants, leading off, Bobby Bonds in right. Batting second is Don Mason at second. He's a left-handed hitter to replace Hunt, the right-hander, against the right-hander Bill Hands. Batting third is Mays in center. It's McCovey at first. Dick Dietz catching. Ken Henderson, switch hitter, batting left. Tito Fuentes at third, also a switch hitter. Hal Lanier at short, also a switch hitter. So they have five left-handers in the lineup. Left-handed hitters against the right-hander Bill Hands. For the Chicago Cubs, leading off, Don Kessinger at short. Glenn Beckert at second, Billy Williams in left, Santo at third, Banks at first, Randy Hundley catching. It will be Al Spangler, a left-handed hitter, in right field. Batting eighth, Jim Hickman in center. And the pitcher, Bill Hands. And Kathy Harden has arrived. And it's a nice crowd out here at Wrigley for, of course, always a day game. If you missed the previous game, and there's a spoiler, so leave this broadcast now if you don't want to see about it. It was on the last game of the 27th. Leave it right now, and then come back in 1 minute. The San Francisco Giants won their third in a 4-game series against the Cardinals, 6-4 in 10 innings. Lanier knocked in, actually it was Fuentes who knocked in the go-ahead run. McMahon got the win in relief, and Mudcat Grant got the loss. Home run by Mike Shannon, his second of the series. He hit the walk-off home run off of Gaylord Perry. So the Giants now come into this 2.5 games behind the first place Atlanta Braves. Cubs are 6 games behind the first place Pittsburgh Pirates. These are the 2 second place teams. Giants flew a short flight from St. Louis to Chicago last night, and they're ready to go for this day game. Also on the lineup for this date, and I'm not sure what it's scheduled for tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. San Diego Padres with Dick Kelly at the St. Louis Cardinals, Chuck Taylor. And those are the only 2 games on this date. This is game 1198 out of 1944. At the rate of 2 games a day, it will be about 1 year until this is finished, which would be just before the start of the 2024 season in real world. In real world news, Jesus Alou died. That leaves Felipe as the only living Alou brother. Also in football, Bud Grant, the Vikings coach of the 70s, died at age 95. Bobby Bonds has died. I just looked up Don Mason. He died in 2018. He was 73. Mays is with us. McCovey died. Dick Dietz died in 2005. He was 63 years old. He had a heart attack. Ken Henderson is still alive. Tito Fuentes is still alive. Hal Lanier is still alive. and so is Marichal. So the only late Giants are Bonds, Mason, McCovey, and Dietz. For the Giants, well, I'm not sure. I know Kessinger's alive. Beckert, I think he's alive. Williams is alive. Santo died. Banks died. Hundley is alive. Al Spangler is alive. Jim Hickman is alive. And Bill Hands died in 2017 at the age of 76. Just to give you an idea. Nice crowd out here at Wrigley in the friendly confines. And we're going to start in about 7 minutes. The Giants have a chance to move within 2 of the Atlanta Braves. Of course, the Braves play later on this date. They will open a series. Actually, the Atlanta Braves are off on this date. The Braves' next game is on the 30th of July, and they will, open up a 3-game series against the Phillies, including a doubleheader on the 31st. The Cubs 6 games out. Now St. Louis will play today. They're hosting the Padres. It'll be, like I said, Kelly and Taylor. Now we're going to get this game going. Let's get it going. Cubs take the field. And there's Big Bill Hands on the mound, right-hander. Setting up the Cubs defensively. Banks at first, Beckert at second, Kessinger at short, Santo, the captain, at third. From left to right, Williams, Hickman, and Spangler. Hands on the mound, pitching to Randy Hundley. And leading it off for the Giants will be Bobby Bonds. So Bonds steps in. Hands is ready. Hands gets the sign from Hundley. He's in his windup, and the pitch to Bonds. 4-7, and there's a base hit for Bonds up the middle. Hickman throws it in, and the Giants have a runner on first to start it off. He's a 1-12 being held. Takes a lead off first, a good lead, and Hands throws back to first. Bonds back safely. Don Mason at the plate. Here's the pitch to Mason. 2-8. Grounds it to short for the force. So they get Bonds at second, and Mason is on with one out. And here's Willie Mays. And Mark Shooker has arrived. Mason on first, one down. Just underway here at Wrigley Field. First of a 4-game series. Giants at the Cubs. Hands pitching for the Cubs. It's Marichal for the Giants. Hands is from the stretch, and the pitch to Mays. 2-8. And he grounds it to second, and that will be a double play. 4-6-3. And the side is retired. No runs, one hit, and none left. After a half, Giants nothing. Cubs coming to bat. And here's Big Juan Marichal with a big kick. Big kick by Marichal. Thank you, Mark Shooker, for the retweet. We appreciate it. And leading it off for the Cubs will be Don Kessinger, the shortstop. Switch hitter, batting left against Marichal. You for the Cubs, Kathy? I was a Cub fan, around this time. Okay, Marichal is ready. He gets the sign from Dietz into his windup. Big kick and the pitch to Kessinger. 6-6, and he flies it to center field for Mays, and Mays makes the catch. Kessinger is retired, one down. Now here's Beckert. Marichal. The pitch to Beckert. 2-10. And there's a base hit to left. Henderson throws it back. So Beckert on first with one out. Okay, Kathy Harden. Now Billy Williams, left-handed hitter. Marichal will work from the stretch now. And the pitch to Williams. 6-7. Struck him out. First strikeout by Marichal. 2 down. And Ron Santo comes up. Beckert with a short lead off first, 2 down. Bottom of the first, Cubs batting, no score. Slow for a ball. And that's fouled away. The count is even now. 2-2 to Santo. Here's the pitch. 2-8. Pops it up to second. And Mason makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. After 1, it's scoreless. And we head to the 2nd inning. Hands on the mound. And McCovey leads it off in the top of the Giants' 2nd. Okay, Hands is ready. The windup, the pitch to McCovey. 2-10, grounds it back to Hands. Throws over the Banks, 1 down. So McCovey is retired. And here's Dick Dietz. Hands into his windup. Here's the pitch. 1-5. And it's a fly ball hit well to center, but playable by Hickman. He makes the catch, 2 away in the top of the 2nd. And Ken Henderson comes to the plate. Switch hitter batting left. Hands ready. The pitch to Henderson. And he flies it to left. That's for Williams. And Williams makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Bill Hands in the 2nd. And in the middle of the 2nd, still scoreless ball game. And here comes Juan Marichal. He'll face Ernie Banks in the bottom of the 1st. I might move on to the other stuff once we get to the top of the hour. I'm going to tank the coffee for the meantime. Okay, Marichal ready now. Here's the windup. Big kick and the pitch to Banks. 4-4. Catcher X. Dietz a 4. And he fouls out to Dick Dietz. Banks does. And there's 1 away in the bottom of the 2nd. Indeed, Kathy Harden. Indeed. If you want Mark Schucker, you just stay in a hotel overnight after the ball game, and you can look at the sights to your heart's content. I don't think the Obama library is even open, but that was probably a joke. I don't think it's built, is it? I don't know. Here comes Hundley, 1 out. Marichal is ready. Here's the windup and the pitch to Hundley. Catcher X, Dietz. Pops out to the catcher, Dick Dietz again. 2 pop-ups to the catcher. And here's Al Spangler with 2 outs, nobody on. 2 pop-ups to Dietz here in the bottom of the second. Nice crowd out here at Wrigley Field. Watching the Cubs with being a contender for the first time in recent memory. And that's fouled away on a Marichal breaking pitch. Full count now on Spangler. Here's the pitch to Spangler. 6-9. Grounds it to short. Lanier at 2. 2-2 goes through for a base hit by Spangler, a 2-out single. It's the second hit off Marichal. So with 2 outs and Spangler on first, here comes Jim Hickman and hands on deck. Hands on deck. The pitch to Hickman. 6-10. Grounder to short. Lanier throws him out, and the side is retired. We got a couple of dandy pitchers today. So if you like pitching, this is the game for you. We expect. After 2 innings, it's a scoreless ball game. And here comes Bill Hands to pitch to the Giants, top of the third. Leading it off, Tito Fuentes. Tito Fuentes, a switch hitter. He'll bat left against Hands. Hands winds and the pitch. 4-5. Swung on and hit well, and that's a double to right center. Fuentes with a stand-up double to lead off the top of the third, off Bill Hands. Fuentes has been hitting well. And now it's Hal Lanier and Marichal on deck. Okay, Hands now working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Lanier. 6-7, fly ball center. Hickman makes the catch, throws it in quickly. Fuentes has to stay at second. 1 down. And here comes Juan Marichal. His first plate appearance today. He's a right-handed hitter. Okay, Hands from the stretch. And the pitch to Marichal. 3-8, grounds it to third. Santo over to Banks. And Fuentes holds. 2 outs with Tito Fuentes on second and Bobby Bonds in a clutch situation here. He singled in the first, was out in the fourth. Giants trying to get out of this. And he walks Bonds intentionally. I guess he would just rather pitch to Don Mason. And who can blame him? So it's first and second, 2 down. And Mason steps up. Okay, hands. The pitch to Mason. For 7, and that is a base hit by Mason. Fuentes scores. Bonds goes to third. It's 1-0 Giants. So, go figure. He walked Bonds to pitch to Don Mason, and Mason got a 2-out clutch single to bring home Fuentes. And it's first and third, 2 outs now for Willie Mays. Mays grounded into a double in the first. And that's low for a ball. Strike call. Here's the pitch from Hands. 2-10, and it's a base hit up the middle. Bonds scores. Mason goes to second. Let's see if he'll stretch it with 2 outs. Mason 1 to 15, 2 outs, 1 to 17, -1, 1 to 16. They let him go. Holding Mays at first. So 2 runs in for the Giants. And the intentional walk of Bonds has backfired on Bill Hands. Now here's a guy who's worth walking, Willie McCovey, and they walk him to load the bases. And Dick Dietz comes to the plate. Giants 2, Cubs nothing. 2 runs by the Giants here in the top of the third. Here's the pitch from Hands. 4-5, and that's hit well. It's hit deep, and that's a grand slam by Dick Dietz. Oh my. Dick Dietz has hit a grand slam. The bases were loaded with 2 outs. This is all a 2-out rally here. Let's look at it again. 4-5. End home run 1 to 9. It's a 4, and he's as zen as you can be. Dietz hit 11 in only 244 at bats. Look at that reception in the dugout. Now Ken Henderson will come up. The Giants have batted around. Bill Hands has allowed 6 runs here in the top of the third. Unbelievable. Now Ken Henderson. 2-7. He flies it to center, and that will retire the side. But 6 runs for the Giants, including a grand slam by Dick Dietz. And the Giants lead at 6-0. Well, it's still early. Maybe it was just a bad inning. Bill Hands will hit. It's not. This is your grandfather's game, people. For you youngsters out there. Not unusual for him to hit down 6-0 in the bottom of the third. Okay, Marichal now. Giants lead 6-0, a powerhouse of an inning. Topped off with a grand slam by Dick Dietz. Here's the pitch, 2 hands. Struck him out. Second for Marichal. Back to the top of the order, Don Kessinger. Here's Marichal. Big kick and the pitch to Kessinger. 4-6. Base hit up the middle. Mays throws it in. Third single allowed by Marichal. 3 hits today. And Glenn Beckert comes to the plate. He singled in the first. From the stretch, the pitch to Beckert. 6-4, fly ball center. Mays makes the catch. Kessinger holds at first, 2 down for Billy Williams. Oh, yes, Stephen, what was his, you got any idea what his stats were or what? So he played full time? Let me go check that out. I'm just interested. Dick Dietz. Holy shit, he did have a wild year. He hit 300, 22 homers, 36 doubles, 107 runs batted in. He played pretty well the next year, and then he just faded away. He had an 8-year career. Isn't that something? That is a monster year. Well, he did it today with a monster grand slam. It's 2 outs, Kessinger on first, Williams the batter now. Here's Marichal, the pitch. 5-7, struck him out. Third for strikeout from Marichal. The side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on after 3 6-0 Giants. A very, very welcoming start to the 4-game series by San Francisco. They just flew in last night very late after a 10-inning win over St. Louis, 6-4. Bill Hands stays in the game. It's going to be Fuentes, Lanier, and Marichal in the top of the 4th for the Giants. We're getting close to the top of the hour. Here's Hands now. And the pitch to Fuentes. 3-6. Struck him out. You know, it's a funny thing, Stephen Parada, but I had the Strat-O-Matic 1970 set when it came out, which was like, you know, January 71. And that's before they had advanced. Just basic one-sided cards. And I am very confident that I probably remembered that great year by Dietz, but it goes out of your mind. You know what I'm saying? But it's nice to have that refreshed. 1 out, nobody on, Hal Lanier. He flew to center with Fuentes on second in that big 3rd inning, that big 6-run inning. And the pitch to Lanier. 4-8. Switch hitter, he walked him. Al Lanier on first. And Juan Marichal comes up. He grounded to third. It's 1 out, Lanier on first. Dick Dietz. Okay, here's the pitch to Marichal. 3-6, grounds it to short, and that's a double play. So the side is retired, no runs, no hits, a walk, and none left. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth, and it's 6-0, Giants. Santo, Banks, and Hundley to face Marichal in the bottom of the fourth here at Wrigley. I'll tell you, life, I don't mean to get heavy on you folks, but life is so delicate, it's so elusive, it's so fragile. Did you know, Stephen Parada, that Ron Santos' parents were both killed in an auto accident? And I think it was the same accident. He was a player, I think, at the time. Okay, Santos steps in. Here's Juan Marichal to face Santo. Here's the pitch. 6-3, fly ball left. Henderson getting under that. And he makes the catch. Santo is retired. And now Ernie Banks. Oh, is that right? Of course, he had diabetes, which I'm really confident you knew. And he hit it at first. You know, it was a different game back then. And also, diabetes was not as easy to manage as it is today. Not that it's always easy for people, but it is easier, significantly easier. And he died, I think, young. I don't know what he died of. Here's Banks with 1 out. Marichal. The pitch to Banks. And that is hit well. It's a base hit in the gap, but they'll hold him to a single. Cubs down by 6 here. Bottom of the fourth, 1 out. Banks on first. Randy Hundley now. Here's the pitch from Marichal. 6-6. Lines it to short, caught by Lanier. 2 outs. And Al Spangler. Spangler singled. Marichal has allowed 4 singles, 1 single in each inning, and left him on base. He's about to do it again. Ernie Banks on first, 2 down. And the pitch to Spangler. 6-6. Fly ball center. Mays under it, and the side is retired again. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And after 4, it's 6-0 Giants. We'll have our last cup of coffee. And it'll be the top of this order. Bobby Bonds. Some of you may remember the rally in the third. Fuentes doubled, then there were 2 outs. Then Hands intentionally walked Bonds. Then a single. And Fuentes scored. And then Mays singled. And Bonds scored. And then another intentional walk by Hands to load the bases of McCovey, and then Dick Dietz sent it to Palookaville for a grand slam. So there's your lesson there. If you get caught up intentionally walking people, it can come back to bite you. Okay, Hands has a full count on Bonds now. Here's the windup. And the pitch to Bonds. 6-7. Fly ball center. And Hickman makes the catch, 1 down. Now Don Mason. Mason 1 for 2. And the pitch from Hands. 3-8. Lines it to short to Kessinger, right at him, 2 away. And Willie Mays is the batter. Looks like Hands has settled down a bit. Mays 1 for 2. For 7. Base hit up the middle. His second hit of the game. Second base hit. And Hickman throws it back, and here's McCovey. Here's the pitch from Hands. 4-10. Fly ball right. Spangler makes the catch. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We're in the middle of the 5th. It's 6-0 Giants, but you know stranger things have happened. It will be Hickman, and then I just assume let Hands hit. I mean, you want to burn your bullpen out? Actually, they haven't pitched in 5 days. Jenkins and Selma both pitched complete games, so we'll have a pinch hitter. You know what I mean? It's going to be Paul Popovich, a switch hitter. I like using him to pinch hit, and the coming in will be Ted Abernathy, a right-hander. That's it for Hands after 5 innings. Hands pitched 5. 6 hits allowed. He walked 3, 2 of them intentional. Struck out 1 and allowed 6 runs, and it will be Ted Abernathy. But leading it off is Jim Hickman. It's going to be Paul Popovich after Hickman. It's like a very micro right now. Super micro. We'll see how that works. Okay, Jim Hickman. Oh my God, where am I? Here's Marichal. 2-7, he walked him. So Hickman draws a walk to start it off in the bottom of the fifth. Here's Paul Popovich. Marichal will work from the stretch. Switch hitter batting left, Marichal, and the pitch to Popovich. 5-11. Grounds at the first, double play. Well, how the hell do you like that? The pinch hitter, much would have rather had a strikeout by hands. So it's 2 outs, nobody on. For Don Kessinger. Marichal shutting out the Cubs here. And here's the pitch to Kessinger. 6-8. And he flies it to left, and Ken Henderson makes the catch. The side is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk, and none left after a double play. 6-0 Giants after 5. And Ted Abernathy, the new pitcher for the Cubs, a right-hander, taking his warm-ups. Oh, Lord, Mark Shooker, don't. You're fucking me over here. I'm just kidding, sir. I eat way too much anyway. I just tell you, I had ribs today. I'm about 10 pounds overweight. I just assume have myself some watermelon for dessert, and that's it. No dinner. Well, here's Dick Dietz to lead it off. Top of the 6th. We'll try to have no more of the other stuff, Kathy Harden, so I can stay in this ball game. Dietz hit the grand slam. And he'll face Abernathy in the top of the 6th. Here's Ted Abernathy now. And the pitch to Dietz. 5-4. Fly ball center. And Hickman makes the catch. It's 1 away. Here's Ken Henderson. Switch hitter. Batting left. Henderson 0 for 2. Flew to left, flew to center. Here's the pitch to Henderson. 2-9. Fly ball right. Under it is Spangler. 2 down. And Tito Fuentes. Don't count these Cubs out just yet. I know it's Marichal on the mound, but you never know. Beckert, Williams, and Santo next inning. Here's the pitch to Fuentes. 6-2, walked him. So Fuentes takes first. And Hal Lanier. Fuentes has been in the middle of so many good things for the Giants this year when he's played. Clutch hits, good base running. Actually, what is he? 1-12, I'm sorry. I remember Fuentes on the 70 and 71 Giants. He got more action those years. Ted Abernathy, 2 outs. Fuentes on first from the stretch, and his pitch to Lanier. 5-8, grounds it to second. Beckert over to Banks, and that side's retired. So a good inning for the most part by Abernathy. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 6-0. And Juan Marichal will face Beckert, Williams, and Santo. And Glenn Beckert will lead it off. Glenn Beckert is dead. Just looked it up. He died in 2020. 4-time All-Star and a Gold Glove winner. He was 79 years old, so no youngster. Okay, Marichal on the mound. And the pitch to Beckert. 3-8. Grounds it to short, 1 away. I gotta tell you, playing with the old-timer set that they used to have, I guess they still have it. I guess they have them in advance. But, that didn't bother me. Ruth, Gehrig, they're all dead. Lazari, Hank Greenberg, they're all frickin' gone. But these are my guys, okay? So it's just a little weird. Williams is still with us. 1 out, nobody on. Marichal. The pitch to Williams, 6-7. Struck him out. That's the 4th strikeout by Marichal. And he has been so tough today. I think the sheet speaks for itself. And here comes Ron Santo. He's allowed 1 base runner each inning. 4 singles and a walk, and that's been it. All right, Marichal. The pitch to Santo. 5-10. Fly ball right. Under it is Bonds, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 for Marichal. In fact, that's his first 1-2-3. But he has been in control all game. After 6, it's 6-0. And folks, I'm going to take a very brief break. And I think you can understand that. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. After 6 innings, it's Giants 6, Cubs nothing. Marichal throwing shutout baseball, and Hands allowed 6 runs in 5 innings thanks to intentionally walking two batters. uh, and then pitching to Dick Dietz. I'll be back in about 5. Oh my lord. Hey, Kathy Horton, I'm freaked out a little bit. But I'll be alright. It gets me a little paranoid before 6 o'clock. It was a mistake. But that's okay. We'll just start again at 6 and act like we never did it at 5. I'll be back, folks. No one's gonna cut my balls off, okay? That's what my mentor used to tell me, Albert Ellis, world famous psychologist. No one is going to cut your balls off. So try to calm down. Oh, welcome back, everybody. It looks very bright on your screen. Even though I have turned the lights off, I think it's kind of cool. It's because the light coming obviously from the monitor, which is facing the camera horizontally, not down on it, and it makes, for me at least, a very cozy environment. I'm going to be doing a space after the ball game on Twitter, a Twitter space called Only Great Music, or if you could think of a better name, I'm just going to play all great songs. Maybe just music is the best. That's what Frank Zappa said. Well, leading it off is Marichal. And Ted Abernathy starts his second inning of relief of Bill Hands. Big disappointment in Hands today. You know, Leo DeRocha burnt out this team. The everyday lineup, Kessinger, Beckett, Williams, Santo, not so much Banks, Hundley, playing them every day. He didn't platoon much except in the outfield. They called him Leo the Lip. He used to dress up in fancy suits and wear ladies' perfume. Did you know that? Steven Parada, Leo DeRocha. I can't see well enough, so we will turn the light back on. Okay, here comes Marichal at the plate, 0 for 2. Abernathy. And the pitch to Marichal, 4-10. Flies it to center. Hickman, a 4. First time he's being tested. Oh, and it drops in for a double for Juan Marichal. Here's Bobby Bonds. The fuck is this? Okay, Abernathy from the stretch. The pitch to Bonds. And it's a base hit for Bonds. Marichal goes to third. And Giants got something going again. Action in the Cubs bullpen, because they'll be having a pinch hitter eventually. And it's Hank Aguirre, the left-hander. Hank Aguirre warming. First and third, no outs. And the pitch to Mason. 5-7. Grounder to short, Kessinger. This could be 2, but might score a run. 4-2. And no, he throws him out at first. Marichal scores. And Bonds moves to second. 7-0 Giants. Willie Mays. Abernathy. The pitch to Mays. 6-11. Grounds it to short, 2 down. Bonds holds, and Willie McCovey. Again, my inclination is to walk him. Why pitch to him? Well, Dick Dietz gave us one answer with his grand slam. Here's the pitch to McCovey. 6-7. Grounder to second, Beckert. The late Glenn Beckert. And he throws him out. And that side is retired. So Abernathy gets out of it with just 1 run allowed. 7-0 though. Middle of the 7th, and now is the time to stretch, to clean out your blowhole, powder your nose, do whatever you like to do. I think part of it is in your head. You know, I think it's better to ingest at 6 p.m., Kathy Harden, but it's 6 p.m. somewhere. I mean, you know, not really. I mean, you know, you just go east. I don't know about the time zone over the Atlantic Ocean, and we will move the clocks back, forward on Sunday, I believe. Maybe it's tonight. I'm going to move it forward, and I can never really immediately figure out, does that add, or does that what does that do? That would mean it's 6:20. It would be 6:27 now. Wait a minute. Yeah, 6:27. Stays lighter out, darker, and you might be more tired. You lose an hour. You wake up and it's really an hour later. You have to wake up an hour early to wake up at the same actual time. It's not a big deal to me. Well, it's going to be Banks, Hundley, and Spangler facing Juan Marichal. Been a kooky game. A kooky third, where Hands let up 6 runs, including a grand slam. And Juan Marichal has been, well, how can I put this, Kathy Harden? He has been Juan Marichal. And he's pitching shutout baseball. He's allowed 4 singles and a walk. And that's it. And they were spread out in separate innings. Here comes Banks. Big kick by Marichal. I don't know how he does that when I'm so high. 5-9, grounds it to short, 1 out. Lord Marichal. We love good pitching. I know you want the Cubs though, but you know, I'm gonna be glad to see the Cubs move within 2 frickin' games of Atlanta. Here's Randy Hundley. 2-7, fly ball center. Mays under it, 2 down. And now Al Spangler. Woo! March 26. Oh, so it's a different time for you. Okay. Here's Al Spangler. 2-3. Grounds it to second, and the side is retired. He's retired 8 in order. Marichal's been unbelievable today. Unbelievable. Here's Ted Abernathy in his 3rd inning of relief. He's allowed 1 run in 2 innings. And here's Dick Dietz. Oh, here's the pitch from Abernathy. 1-5, and that's a fly ball to center, deep, but playable by Hickman, 1 down. Now Ken Henderson 0 for 3. Pitch from Abernathy. 1-8, pops it up to short. Kessinger, 2 down, and he's still with us, and he's on Twitter. Go search him. He's not verified. He mentions Jesus or Christianity or something. Good for him. It's 2 outs, nobody on. And Tito Fuentes, 1 for 2 with a walk. 4-3. Grounds it to first. Ernie boots it for an error. Oh, my Ernie. Ernie Banks, first error of the ball game, goes to Ernie Banks. 2 outs, and Fuentes is on first. Here's Hal Lanier. Lanier 0 for 2 with a walk. Let me take a Klonopin just to take the edge off tonight. I don't take them often. I take them about twice a week. I was not taking them for a long time. And how much I take them is sort of a barometer for how much anxiety I have. Okay, Hal Lanier at the plate. It's 2 outs with Fuentes on first, and Abernathy from the stretch. 5-10, struck him out, and that will retire the side. And that's going to be it for Ted Abernathy. Pitched fairly decent ball. Oh, excuse me. Got an excited fan out there. He pitched 3 innings, 2 hits. He walked 1, struck out 1, and allowed 1 run. It is 7-0. And Hank Aguirre will pitch to the Giants in the top of the 9th in case you're interested. There'll be a pinch hitter for Abernathy. Leading it off, here's Juan Marichal. Leading it off is Jim Hickman. Looking forward to see who DeRocher calls on to pinch hit in this 7-0 ball game. Hickman leads it off. Marichal has been unbelievable today. Here's the pitch to Hickman. 3-5. And that's a line drive to second, caught by Mason. 1 down. Oh. Okay, Leo sending in a pinch hitter here. The obvious choice would be Willie Smith, a left-handed hitter. Or Quails, a switch hitter. It's going to be Jimmy Quails. He'll bat left against Marichal with 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch to Quails. 4-6. Base hit up the middle for Jimmy Quails. His running is adequate, but there's 7 goddamn runs down. Doesn't matter, really. So Marichal lets up his 5th hit, all singles, and Kessinger comes up. Maybe this could be the start of something good for the Cubs, but I doubt it, with Juan Marichal just controlling this ball game. Now he'll work from the stretch against Kessinger. Here's the pitch. Whoa! 4-5. And it's hit well, but to right field and caught by Bonds. This was Quails, by the way. I am so sorry. So it's 2 away. I'll tell you, Kessinger got a hold of that, but it was hit high and in the ballpark. High and long, but in the ballpark. Here's Glenn Beckert, 1 for 3. Quails on first, 2 down. Marichal to Beckert. Struck him out. 5th strikeout for Juan Marichal. We've gone 8 full. Marichal throwing shutout baseball here at Wrigley. And Hank Aguirre is the 3rd Cubs pitcher. And he will face Marichal, Bonds, and Mason. Oh, Lord. This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. Here comes Juan Marichal. Marichal doubled and scored in the 7th. So he's the star of the game in many, many ways. Here's the pitch from Aguirre. 5-7. And there's another hit. It's a base hit by Marichal to lead off the top of the 9th. Look at the smile on Marichal's face. The Giants on the verge of coming within 2 games on of the Atlanta Braves, and they deserve it, Kathy Harden, because they have played. I know you've been following. They've been playing just remarkable baseball. Here's Bobby Bonds now. Aguirre from the stretch. And the pitch to Bonds. 5-3. Grounds it back to Aguirre. He's a 2. And he turns the double play. Nice play by Hank. A 4-3 double. And Don Mason is the batter. If you're looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, it will be Williams, Santo, and Banks. Here's Hank Aguirre now. The pitch to Mason. And he grounds it to Kessinger. Over to Banks, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, none left. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. This is it. Juan Marichal, shutout baseball, 5 hits, all singles, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. It will be Williams, Santo, and Banks here in the top of the bottom of the ninth tomorrow at 8 a.m. fresh and early. San Diego at St. Louis. Kelly for San Diego, Taylor for St. Louis. Same date, July 28, and that would wrap up this date. We would then move right on to the 29th. And there's lots of interesting series opening, including on the 29th, which will probably be tomorrow afternoon. But that date includes doubleheaders. I think twilight doubleheaders. But we'll double check. And we'll be there for all the games. Okay, here comes Williams. Williams has struck out 3 times today by Marichal. Lord. And that's low for a ball to Williams. It seems almost obligatory that this game is I have a friend who has sent me a DM on Twitter, a very close friend, and I'm just going to respond back to them. Okay, Billy Williams is up. Am I right, Kathy Harden or anybody else out there? Have I missed anything? Tell me. Is Williams up now, leading off the bottom of the ninth against Marichal? It's a simple question. Simple frickin' question. Well, if no one is responding, I think there might be a time lag here. But if no one is responding, I will move on. Here's Marichal now. He's gone 8 scoreless. He gets the sign from Dietz, the wind-up big kick, and the pitch to Williams. 6-3, flies it to left. Under it is Henderson. Thank you. And he drops it. Whoa, Ken Henderson with a 2-base error. First error for the Giants. Williams is on second. Oh my. Not a good start here in the ninth for Marichal. And here comes Ron Santo. So Marichal needs to focus. Santo 0 for 3 today. Banks on deck. Hundley in the hole. And that's just outside for a ball to Santo. Okay, Marichal from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Santo. 4-8. Base hit to right. Williams goes to third, and he'll hold with Bonzar -4, and they're down 7-0. First and third with nobody out, and actually the Cubs have their first serious threat of the afternoon. And it's Ernie Banks now. 5:46 p.m. Eastern. You got to be careful. These games can be suspended due to darkness. I remember that happening regularly. I mean, not often, but regularly enough. Here comes Ernie Banks now. The infield is back. I believe, Stephen Perrotta, if you're with us, that would be unearned. Maybe. Here's the pitch to Banks. 2-6. Struck him out. That's the 6th strikeout for Juan Marichal. And Randy Hundley is the batter. Marichal would like to get Hundley to hit it on the ground hard. He's already thrown one ground ball, one double play ground ball to Popovich, the pinch hitter in the 5th. Okay, Stephen Perrotta. All right, I'll remember that rule. So it's first and third, one down, Hundley. Marichal from the stretch, and the pitch to Randy. 5-9, grounder to short. That's Lanier. Over to McCovey, and the ball game is over. Oh, I'm sorry, double play, and the ball game is over. So that's the ball game. Star of the game, Mr. Juan Marichal. A shutout. The final score, Giants 7, Cubs 0. And the Giants are within 2 games of first place, behind the Atlanta Braves. They're playing very good baseball. Dick Dietz hit a grand slam off hands. So Marichal gets the win. He's the star of the game, a complete game shutout. He did allow 6 singles. He walked 1, struck out 6, and allowed 0 runs. And that's a Juan Marichal type of game. The loss goes to hands. The final line, Giants 7 runs, 9 hits and 1 error. Cubs 0 runs, 6 hits and 1 error. And there's your ball game. I'll be posting the updated National League standings tomorrow morning. You got it, Kathy Harden. You're very welcome. You're always welcome. But the Giants move within 2, and the Cubs now 6.5 behind the first place Pirates, and the Cubs are in second place. Cardinals behind the Cubs. They play in the morning. They're 9 games out. So I see a race here in the National League West, just like in real world. And it's actually moving just as we would expect, with Atlanta in first, Giants in second. I don't remember who came in third, but Cincinnati is in third. Houston is only a game and a half behind Cincinnati. LA is really not doing well. They're 14 out in fifth, and then you have San Diego taking up the rear. I hope you enjoyed the ball game like Kathy Harden did. My name is Jeffrey Guterman, and from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth in Wrigley Field. We call it the Bob Murphy because whatever we're in, it's like Air Force One, whatever broadcast booth we're in. My favorite announcer ever. You all have a good evening. Follow me on Twitter for lots of other stuff, including additional information about this very replay. Some things I can do on Twitter, like pictures and things like that, that I just can't do on YouTube. I'm going to be doing a space called on Twitter called "Music is the Best," as a quote from Frank Zappa. Stay strong, everybody, from the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network in Chicago, Illinois. Have a good evening and Strat on.